Happy Sunday. We're excited right now. We've been in the middle of fall camp for a long time, and it can seem at the middle end of fall camp like you're just practicing and stuck in a rut of practicing. I think our players are really excited that we kind of turned our attention now, and it's officially game week. This trip has been a long time coming, a couple years, and a lot more time than that on preparation for this. We've been talking to our players a lot about handling this the right way and making sure it's a business trip, but if we have enough work done and feel confident enough with what we're doing going over there, I think the more confident we are about that, the more we can just enjoy another country, the culture over there, and still focus on the things that we need to get done while we're over there. I want to point a few people out. Andrew and Austin with our ops group have been, I can't tell you how much work they've had to do between airplanes and passports and hotels and cultural things. That's been a lot of work put in, and we appreciate them. Jay Terry has a mountain of things to do too to make sure that everybody has what they need over there and we don't forget anything. Mark Meyer and his staff have been unbelievable, and Matt Herron and the video staff have to make sure everything's over there and functioning well. So there's a lot that's gone into this, and our goal is to make sure the players can focus on just football and having a good time over there. I think this is going to be an unbelievable experience. I would say the majority of our team has never been overseas, and I don't know how many will again, hopefully a lot of them, but what a great country to go visit and see, and hope we get a lot out of this, the game obviously being the priority. Want to touch on the O-line things I said earlier this week. I was trying to portray how hard the O-line had been working and how proud of them I am. Might have exaggerated puking a little bit, but the important thing is I want to make sure everybody understands our training staff and weight staff do an unbelievable job of keeping me abreast of everything going on at practice. We have monitors, heart monitors. We know their complete output. We cut back practice if we think it's getting too hard or guys have spent too much. I talked about our practices this camp have been 3 on and 1 off, which is all an attempt to try to keep them healthy and fresh. So I know a lot got made out of that. I can assure you between Mark and the weight staff and I, we're doing absolutely everything to keep these guys healthy, and that's our number one priority. Excited to announce captains. We announced it at Boneyard Bash last night. We had the vote about a week and a half ago, and there was a lot of guys that got votes, which is a good thing. I think that means we have a lot of leaders on the football team. But the 4 top vote getters were Garrett and Travis and Caleb and Nick. Really proud of that group, where they've come from, what they've become, and the leadership they're giving us. All 4 guys have graduated from the university already, including Nick, graduated in 3 years. Say 2.5 of them are homegrown Nebraska kids, obviously Garrett and Nick, but Travis's family is from Lincoln too, and then Caleb from Georgia. They're going to do a great job representing us, and the leadership that they've shown in camp, along with about a dozen other guys, has been the best we've had. So we got big things ahead of us. I think our guys are really excited, and we'll be getting on a plane in about 24 hours. Question?
Scott, what's the first 24 hours in particular like on this trip? Like adjusting guys' kind of body clock to the time switch and all that?
We've had more conversations than I can remember about this and the right way to do it. And I don't think if you've traveled to Europe, I don't think there's a perfect way to do it. You're not going to feel perfect when you get over there. Some of the conversations with NFL teams that have gone over and played in London have been important. Our NAPL lab here and the expertise there has been really valuable for us too, so I want to give them a shout out. Flying overnight, I think the priority is making sure guys try to get to sleep on the plane. So we're gonna black it out about an hour after takeoff and try to get as much as we can, and then land and see how long everything takes. But we're taking them through customs and going straight to the stadium to get a little workout and try to knock some rust off. Then headed to the hotel, give them a little downtime. Then we have dinner and a little cultural thing, and we're gonna try to get them back to sleep. And the goal is to try to make sure when they wake up on Wednesday, they've had a really good night's sleep on Tuesday night, and they're ready to kind of pick up where we left off here.
stadium, the facility, and how challenging was it maybe to get all the things you need for the week?
Well, we hope we remembered everything. Any time like this, if we were playing down the road somewhere, we could send somebody back or get something there. But, we've been thinking about this for a long time. I don't think we're going to get caught without a mouthpiece or anything like that, but you just never know what's going to happen. I think Jay was telling me some of our crates for equipment went over there, and all but 2 of them had a metal bottom, which was fine, and 2 of them had a wooden bottom on the bottom of the pallet, and they couldn't ship out of Chicago. So we had to address that, and it's little things like that that you can't anticipate. I think everything we could have thought of, we've thought of, and again, our goal is to make sure the players don't have to think about any of that. They can just have fun and focus on football.
Scott, you talked a lot about, you and Whipple both have talked a lot about Casey's experience. In what ways have you seen his experience manifest itself in camp, and why is that so important to you? What are some reasons?
I'd say the biggest thing I would point to with experience is just lack of mistakes. Anytime you're a new player, there's more mistakes than somebody who's had experience. And a lot of quarterbacks played well in camp. I'd say Casey had the fewest turnovers, fewest buzz, fewest mistakes. I think experience is going to be even more important when you're going overseas to play in another country, a different environment. This isn't a home game. This is a completely different thing. And he's played a lot of college football, so I think the environment will be natural to him.
Is the fact that he's 20, he's going to turn 24 in October, is that just alone meaningful to you?
Sure. I was smarter at 24 than I was at 18, and then I probably took a pause while I was in the NFL and didn't get much smarter until my 30s. But life experience and game experience matters, and you guys all know that. And we have a more mature team than we've had. Some of it's age, and some of it's just the character of the kids and the competitiveness of the kids. And we definitely have the most guys on the team that I trust this year that we've had.
Scott, how would you characterize the separation between Casey and the rest of the guys in terms of getting
We have a lot of talented guys, so I don't know if the talent gap is as big as just the experience gap. Casey's played a lot of football, and he's plenty talented to do everything that we need a quarterback to do in the run game and the pass game. I think that's going to be important for us early on here in the season.
Do you feel like you have separation at running back between a couple guys, or where do you kind of see that fitting more in this game?
It'd be a good question for Applewhite. Separation, I don't know. I think most of those guys are a little different. They have a little bit different skill set, but I've seen so much improvement out of the guys that have been here, and they've been pushed by the new guys. And I've said this before, I think this is the most talented and deepest group that we've had, so we just need to play well.
How will you break up your offensive staff on game days? Will Whipple be down below, and if he's down below, who's going to be your guy up top? How is that going to work?
Yeah, we've been training for that for a while. Every time we get a chance, we put people up, and Whip likes to call a game from the sideline, so it's good. I think it's going to help if I'm not staring at a play sheet. I can watch the defense more and see if I see things and try to be a help to him. But we're going to try to have guys up that can give us as much information as we need to get in the right play and make adjustments.
Scott, having your players elect 3 defensive guys as captains this year, and as many old players, veteran players that you've lost from that side of the ball, what does it say about the development and just the work that Chase and his staff have done to get their guys ready?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that the culture on the defense has been growing for a while, and not a lot of change over there has helped us. The kids we recruited have really developed into the type of guy you want on your football team. We kind of intentionally did it that way. I didn't want to just necessarily say there was 2 offensive guys and 2 defenve guys. We wanted to pick the 4 best leaders. There were several other offensive guys that got votes, several other defensive guys that got votes, but these 4 got the most, and I think along with some of those other guys I was talking about, they're going to provide good leadership for us.
Scott, what can you kind of take away from last year's game against Northwestern? Is there stuff you carry over? Is you kind of like the slate clean?
Yeah, they're a lot better team than that score indicated. I don't know if we were as good as that score indicated. It was just one of those days, and I've been on either side of that. I think they're going to be hungry against us, but I know how hungry our team is. there's been some things written about our team that I think have provided us a little extra motivation and could help us. So it's going to be two teams that are hungry over there. We can't go into the game with the exact same game plan and expect it to work the same. I'm sure they've been working on those things, and I'm expecting a really good game.
Scott, earlier in Indianapolis, when we talked about blending all the guys together, new guys and transfers, whatever, how satisfied and happy are you that this is one team now?
I couldn't be happier with that piece, the meshing of these parts. Now, we haven't hit any adversity yet, and I think the first test of that will be when we hit some adversity. But in this day and age, with the ability to add transfers to your team, I think it makes guys like Garrett Nelson, Nick Henrich, Caleb, I could go on, makes those guys even more valuable, because we need to make sure our culture is in place and intact and strong, and then when you add new pieces, those guys come in and adopt that culture. And you can't have that balance go the wrong way. I think you can lose your team. The leadership on the team and the culture that already existed in the locker room, I think, was easy for the new guys coming in, and I compliment them. They did a great job coming in and being a part of a team, not an individual. So I'm really happy with where that sits.
What do you see as the leadership blend on that offensive line, where you have a couple of six-year seniors and then some of your better players who are just 2 and 3 years into the program?
Yeah, Trent Hickson's really been the kind of lead guy, and that's kind of natural with the center making a lot of the calls. Brock Bando does a good job, but we got some young leaders that are going to be really good. Teddy and Henry, and not leaving anybody out. Turner does a great job, and several others. So that's a really tight unit right now. And like I said, their work ethic's been unbelievable, and I've seen a lot of improvement out of that group. I think they got a lot of pride and a lot of grit right now, and Donnie's done a great job with them along with Aaron. So I think we got good leadership, and I think it'll continue to improve.
I know you said on the radio Thursday, the black shirt summer might be lower to start. Did you give some of those out?
No, we haven't yet, and that was just kind of semantics and operational issues. We had to pack jerseys, so we didn't want them sweating in them, and the shipment already left. So we're going to give them out our first day in Ireland, and that has more to do with going overseas than anything else. But we'll make that announcement this week.
Scott, go back to the transfers. Did you see you taking 15 guys out of the portal each year?
I think that's probably a high number, but we'll have to see how it falls. I think we did a good job adding talent, but also addressing some areas of need. And I compliment those guys and the guys on the team, because there wasn't a them and us attitude. It was an us attitude. I think there was also some added competition at a couple positions because of people we brought in that not only helped us from the standpoint of adding talent, but helped us from getting more out of the guys that were here that got pushed a little. And I think there will definitely be a number every year, but I can't guess what that number would be.
I feel like your offensive identity has changed. They don't last.
Not much, except I think it's a confident group right now. And I'd point to some of the new guys for that. I think one of the best things about the changes that have been made is we've added a lot of really confident guys. I'd point to Trey Palmer, Marcus Washington. Some of those guys are almost confident to a fault, and our offense needed a little injection of that. I think the coaches have done a good job with that too, and has a little bit different feel to it. I wouldn't say the X's and O's identity has changed a whole lot, but maybe the overall attitude has.
How about where's Casey fit in that confidence discussion?
Right in the thick of it. Yeah.
Do you feel like they're, not asking you to give us teams or anything, but like, do you feel like there's a sense of being able to run the ball when you want to? I know you talk a lot about that, just being able to hit big runs and things like that.
So you're not asking me to give a game plan, but you are.
How did you feel like your offense performed against that? I think you would agree with a pretty good defense in camp and just run.
It was good. It's what you want in camp. I was able to stand back and watch more and watch the defense more. And there was days the defense got the for sure the better of it. There were days the offense would have scored a lot of points, and that's what you want to see. If you have one side dominating all the time, you got to worry about the other one. So I saw good competition. I think we haven't improved in run blocking, and I think some of that is having backs that can make offensive line look good, which helps. But in this league, if you can't run the ball, you're making yourself one-dimensional. There's too many good defenses, so we need to be able to do more than one thing.
What's the challenge of this in this game, Scott, where guys care about winning so much, but they don't want to kind of roll that line to be uptight? And did you learn anything from that experience last year?
Yeah, I would say, I've talked to the team about that, and this game matters as much as the Week 0 game last year. I would, looking back on it, say we were a little too tight going into that game because everybody knew how much it mattered. We're going to go out there and let it rip, and I'm going to have more conversations with them about it. They've earned the right to be confident. I'm sure Northwestern is too. I think they're going to be a really good team this year, but I don't want the guys to worry about anything. We're just going to go out and play the best football we can and try to make great plays.
What growth have you seen out of Caleb Tanner in particular, the guy who worked his way to the captain status at the end?
Yeah, Caleb was one of the guys when he first got here, and this is a compliment. He was on a lot of lists for missing things, being late. I've seen very few guys that have come as far as he's come, and it speaks more to where he is now than where he started. We have a lot of guys that have to figure some things out, and Caleb has become a perfect teammate and a good leader, and it's awesome to see. It's one of the things that makes coaching very rewarding, is see a young man turn into the man that Caleb is.
Couple more, Coach.
Coach, from a conference perspective, how good exposure is this to have two Big Ten teams playing at home?
Yeah, we're starting the season off, so I'm sure if I wasn't coaching, I would be dying to watch college football, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of eyes on it. So we're excited that we can represent the conference. I'm really proud of the conference right now and some of the moves we've made, and compliment the leadership and some of the things we've done to get ahead and stay ahead, hopefully for a long time. And glad we can represent that league in a game I think that there could be a lot of eyes on.
Scott, when going through back finding in terms of what to do over there, in terms of how you can make it as normal of a game week as possible, is there a piece of advice maybe you've got that says now that makes a lot of sense now that you've thought of it?
No, we've talked to a lot of people. I don't know if I can point to one thing, but we need to be able to, in general, lock in when we need to lock in. I think it's a mistake to go over there and have the guys mind on football 24/7. That's when you do get tight. So we're going to try to enjoy the people, the country, and when it's time to focus on what we need to focus on, I want the guys to be sharp and focused. I've met a lot of Irish people in my life, and they're awesome to be around. I haven't met all of them, obviously. There's a lot. But the ones I've met have been funny and friendly, and I said on the radio I think the people of Nebraska and from what I know, the people of Ireland, I think it's going to be a fun mix, and I'm excited for the fans going over there as well.